reason this is going to be different this time, sir, is because at least one of us is going to call him on the fact that 8 years ago he stood on the stage in New Hampshire and said he was going to balance the budget in 4 years. And he left with the biggest deficit of any president in American history. He said he was going to eliminate the national debt in 8 years. He added $3 trillion to the national debt in 4 years.
All right, folks, I'm pumped. Let's do this. That was former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie making it official on Wednesday with a presidential campaign that torched his former best buddy, Donald Trump. And Chris Christie came ready to brawl.
I guess he's making fun of your weight. That's his...
We're going to be small.
That's his response. What did you make of that? What was your response to that?
You know, when I saw Jake, I just renewed in my own mind what a child he is. He's a baby. Whenever you want to criticize him in any way, that's the way he responds. And you and I are both lucky enough to be parents. And if we had a child who conducted themselves like that, we'd send them to their room, not to the White House.
Yeah.
And I think character is destiny for this country.
And as one Twitter user wisely put it, he's not wrong. He's not going to win, but he's not wrong. But while Chris Christie was busy taking the bat to Donald Trump with truth bombs like this...
If we made him president again, he would settle the Ukraine war in 24 hours. Did you hear that one? That's a beauty. That's really in a career of complete falsehoods. That makes the top 5. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say Donald Trump could settle it in 24 hours. Let me tell you how he would. He'd give Ukraine to Russia. And he said it. He said it on television. He said it at CNN, and he said, look, Russia's going to wind up with Ukraine anyway, so what's the difference?
Across the country, another Republican was preparing his own presidential announcement, and it wasn't exactly as exciting as the Chris Christie show.
It might be fair to ask why I'm challenging my former running mate. Let me say from my heart, it begins with a promise that I made to the American people and to Almighty God. And it ends with different visions for the future of our nation and our party.
That's right. Former Vice President Mike Pence is officially running for president. And wait, we have some breaking news here. Former Vice President Mike Pence is going to get absolutely wrecked. Try and stay awake here.
President Trump's words were reckless. They endangered my family and everyone at the Capitol. But the American people deserve to know that on that day, President Trump also demanded that I choose between him and the Constitution. Now voters will be faced with the same choice.
Grand words from the former vice president, to be sure, but Pence undercut his own grandeur just a little bit right after that speech, when he proudly told Fox News he would still endorse the man who tried to have him killed if Trump manages to win the nomination next year. Pence enters the race drawing just 1% of the vote, which by the standards of non-Trump Republicans is actually pretty good. But Pence is going to run into one big problem. No one seems to actually take him seriously, and that's even true over at Fox News.
It's a little unclear to me what Pence is going to try to run on. You know, he can say he's a solid conservative. Nobody would dispute that, but the field is full of solid conservatives with views not really different from Mike Pence's views, despite the New York Times' assertions that the party's gone completely different. It hasn't entirely at all. And if you're running to be the alternative to Trump, being a solid traditional conservative is where you want to be, but there are lots of people who can make that claim. He also likes to talk, does Pence, about the achievements of the administration in which he served. The problem is, of course, he does that without mentioning the name of the president, and it was Mr. Trump.
And unlike Christie, who decided to just go full-on brawler mode against Donald Trump, Mike Pence is taking a different route. He's going to sand the rough edges off of Trumpism and try and sell those policies with a smile.
If I'm president of the United States, I promise you we're going to finish the wall. We're going to put Remain in Mexico back into effect. We're going to use Title 42 again, every means where we reduced illegal immigration and asylum abuse by 90% in our administration. But then we're going to do the next step, which is we're going to bring the Congress together engage the American people, and redesign this immigration system on a merit basis.
That sounds exactly like Donald Trump's first campaign, because it is. Apparently, there's no one around to remind Mike Pence he's supposed to be criticizing his former boss, not talking about what a great job Trump did before he tried to have Pence killed. So Fox News doesn't know why Mike Pence is running. Mike Pence doesn't seem very clear either. But if Pence is just making this up as he goes along, it looks like Christie may have actually given his motivations a few seconds of thought. Check out this weirdly humble moment with Fox.
I am confident that leadership can be provided by just one man, Donald Trump. We're going to be working real hard right up until Election Day tomorrow to get the wins for this guy and put him in the White House.
What changed?
He changed. He changed, Brett, in material ways. I've known him for 22 years. And what I was hoping to do by endorsing him early, recognizing that he had won in New Hampshire, he had won in South Carolina, and almost won in Iowa. He was the nominee. And I thought as a longtime friend, I could make him a better candidate and a better president. I was wrong.
Yeah, it's a great story, but is anyone in the GOP actually buying it? Donald Trump currently commands the loyalty of over 6 in 10 Republican voters, and those numbers are solidifying. It's not clear Republicans even want a Trump alternative, much less Christie. The Republican clown car is growing by the day. Now that Tweedledee and Tweedledrowsy have joined the circus, Donald Trump is finally getting some challengers whose names he actually remembers. It's going to be one hell of a year. And folks, there is so much more news to cover. So get comfy and click over to this video about a MAGA pastor with some insane beliefs. And as always, leave a comment below so you can let me know what I should cover next.